Welcome to this React Maps tutorial. In this video, I will show you how to add and customize bubbles in the Syncfusion React Maps component. Look at this example. Here, the world map displays bubbles that provide information about the 10 countries with the highest number of internet users. These bubbles are differentiated by their colors and sizes. I will show you how to achieve this at the code level. First, I'll open an existing application where I have already added the React Maps component with basic properties. I have included a GeoJSON shape of the world map in the Maps layer. The shape data property is used to identify the geographical shape information available in the GeoJSON data. I have also applied custom fill colors to the map elements. To learn more about integrating the Maps component into a React application, check the Getting Started video linked in the card above and the description below. Let me run the application by using the command npm start to show the initial demo. Here, the map is rendered based on the GeoJSON data. Next, let's see the steps to show bubbles in the map elements. First, I need to import the bubble module from the Syncfusion EJ2 React Maps package and inject it into the services. Then I add the bubbleDirective tag inside the layer-directive tag. Inside the bubbleDirective tag, I add a single bubbleDirective tag because I am going to show a single group of bubbles. And within the tag, I enable the visible property to display the bubbles. Now I need to populate the data source to display the bubbles. Here, I'm going to represent countries with the highest number of internet users using the bubbles. So let me define an array, bubble data, with fields like country name, value, color, and population. A couple of minutes into the video, I will demonstrate how to use the color field from the data source to set custom colors for the bubbles. Additionally, I will also show how to utilize the population field when grouping the bubbles. Here, I'm going to use the first two fields alone to render the bubble in the map. Then, I assign this data to the dataSource property of the bubbleDirective tag. After the data source is added, I need to map the dataSource field's country name and value to their respective shape data and value properties. To do that, I set the shape data path property to country name and the valuePath property to value. Additionally, I define the title settings property and set the text as 10 countries with the most internet users. You can see the React Maps component rendering the world map geographic shape along with bubbles that represent the top 10 countries with the highest number of internet users. By default, the bubble type is set to circle. In addition to this type, bubbles can also be square. To change the type to square, within the bubbleDirective tag, set the bubble type property to square. Now you will notice that the map is displayed with square bubbles. Next, let me show you how to customize the bubbles on the map. The Maps component provides the flexibility to customize various aspects of map elements, such as the fill color, opacity, animation delay, and animation duration. If you want to apply a custom color, add the fill property and set a custom color to it. To change the animation duration, I use the animation duration property and set an appropriate value to it. Checking now, the bubbles are displayed in the custom colors and animated with the specified duration. By default, the size of the bubble is calculated based on the valuePath property. To set a custom size, I can use the min radius and max radius properties. To demonstrate, I set the min radius property to 3 and the max radius property to 15. Here, you can see the map displaying bubbles with custom sizes. Next, I will show you how to set colors to the bubbles from the data source. Here, I already added one more field, color, with an appropriate value to this data source. So I'll assign this color field to the color value path property to set colors for the bubbles. Since I defined the bubble color from the data source, I will comment out the fill property from the BubbleDirective tag. When you look at the map elements, you'll notice bubbles in different colors based on the data source field. Now let's move on to adding multiple groups of bubbles to the React Maps component. To do that, I'll add one more BubbleDirective tag and copy and paste properties like dataSource, visible, and color value path with appropriate values from the existing BubbleDirective tag. Here, I have already defined the population field in the data source. I map this population field for this bubble group by adding the valuePath property. To differentiate bubble groups, I provide different minimum and maximum radius values. I also add the opacity property and set the custom value 0.4. And I change the bubble type to circle for the first bubble group. Here you can see the map displaying two types of bubbles with color variations. The light-colored bubbles represent the population, while the dark-colored bubbles represent internet users. Next, I'll show you how to add tooltips to bubble maps while hovering over the countries. I import the Maps tooltip module from the EJ2 React Maps package and inject it into the services. I set the tooltip settings property inside the first BubbleDirective tag and enable the visible property. I also set the value path with an appropriate data source field name to show the internet user count in the tooltip. I comment out the code related to multiple groups of bubbles in the map for clarity. When you see the output, tooltips are shown for every data point on the map. Finally, I'll show you how to format tooltips. Here in the tooltip, along with the number of internet users, I'm going to display the country name as well. So I add the format property and assign the data source field's country name and value to it. Look at the map now. The tooltip shows the country name and number of internet users for every data point on the map. In this video, I've shown you how to add bubbles to the React Maps component, change the bubble type, customize the bubbles, add tooltips, and format them. If you would like to try out the example used in this video, you can download it from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also shared a link where you can learn about obtaining a free license key to use our React suite through our community license if you are eligible. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel.